Big gun! Who? Hold up! Fist in the sky. For Ronald Green. Come in close. Make sure your face can be seen. Make sure your shirt can be seen. Big gun! Whose house? Our house! Whose house? Our house! Whose house? Our house! Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! Say his name! Ronald Green! Say his name! Ronald Green! Say his name! Ronald Green! Put some respect on it.
Bow, bow, bow.
All right, we exited the Ewing Parish Courthouse today. We have a bunch of attorneys, families, the community, here to stand with this family in their time of need. And we just witnessed a catastrophe inside of that courthouse. We're gonna bring up the attorney as well as the mother and her family for their remarks. Whose house? Our house! Whose house? Our house! Whose house?
Our house!
Thank you, Joseph. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Miss Mona Harden, the mother of Ronald Green, and his sisters, Alana Cooper and Alana Wilson and Danielle Harden. We're going to make some comments along with some of their supporters who've been with them the whole way. I see Sabrina Foster, who lost her son, present here, Uncle Bobby and Aunt Beatrice. Oscar Grant's relatives are here, as well as many others who know what it's like firsthand to have a loved one killed at the hands of police and have justice elude them. And so it underscores why this day is so important and why we have to continue to fight. I am proud to be here with Attorney Brooke Cluse and join a team of great attorneys in fighting for justice for Ronald Green. I would be very candid with you. I've been all around America, and you've seen many horrific videos. I represented George Floyd's family.
Sure.
That video was deplorable in every sense of the word. We saw Ahmaud Arbery. We represented his family. He was lynched for jogging while black. That video was horrible. You know, we see the video of Tyree Nichols.
Yeah, sure.
That is so similar to the tragic, brutal killing of Ronald Green. I mean, it's as close to apples comparison as you could ever get. And we saw how justice moves swiftly. Uncle Bobby, swiftly.
Blueprint.
Is the precedent that we argued, Joseph, that we should have. And so that's why Miss Mona and Alana and Danielle are concerned. They're not seeing the justice move swiftly when you have evidence of the killing on video. It's on video.
Yeah.
Normally, Uncle Bobby, you've heard me say it over and over again, we don't need to hear no more, just show the video.
Yeah.
And that certainly is applicable to Ronald Green.
Yes.
And so that's why we are asking, imploring, advocating, demanding for there to be federal civil rights criminal charges brought by the Department of Justice.
DOJ.
Yes.
That's right.
Because we think the killing of Ronald Brown is just, the killing of Ronald Green is just as tragic as the killing of George Floyd.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Of Ahmaud Arbery.
Yes.
Of Tyree Nichols.
Them too.
Miss Sabrina, it is as tragic of a killing by police on a citizen as I have ever witnessed on video. Danielle asked for you to go look at the video and see for yourself how tragic the killing of her brother Ronald Green was. Because when you see the video, you look at the video and it's clear. It screams out for justice.
Speak.
It screams out for justice when you look at that video. Arthur Reed so often told me, listen what Ronald is saying. He's like, I'm sorry. I was scared. I'm your brother.
Yes. Sure did.
Isn't that very similar to what Tyree Nichols was saying? What did I do wrong? I just want to get home. They weren't threatening the police. So why did the police use such excessive, brutal force against these unarmed black men? That's why we need the Federal Department of Justice to come in and have a federal civil rights criminal investigation. And now, they do not need to delay this.
Right now.
It is relevant, it is critical now that they launch this federal civil rights criminal investigation. And even though I know we are in small town America, we hope that they can hear us all the way in Washington, D.C. That Ronald Green life matters just as much as anybody else.
Right.
And it matters to all of us, but to the people who it mattered to the most are going to bear their heart and tell you why they cannot stop until they get justice for Ronald Green. 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 Justice for Ronald Green.
Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Power up. Speak down.
And you're going to hear from his mother first, Miss Mona Hardin. And we're so proud to work with her and the great lawyers who are working with us on this case. Ms. Hardin.
I just want to thank everyone. I just want to thank everyone for your presence, for your attention. We're 4+ years in, and I have to reiterate something that I every minute of the day. Ronnie's my firstborn. I remember his beautiful face. He was always loving. His beautiful, beautiful smile. I remember his first day on this earth, and I also saw the video, and I saw his very last. And the ugliness that Louisiana did, without hesitation. How they meant to kill my son. While he was still behind the steering wheel, he was tased. He stood no chance. I said it when I first saw the video, and it's taken me this 4+ years, and I just can't say enough how here we are now, and just to know that we've come this far, but we need. I'm getting lost in my emotions, and federal civil rights, we need it. We need the DOJ to come in here because we're 4+ in. It took 3+ years just to get these indictments, you know, and we need it now. We need it now. I just thank everyone. Thank everyone.
Justice for Ronald Green.
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 Alana, his sister, Alana Wilson, is going to address you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming today. I received the first call that my brother was killed from a car accident. So the lie started from day one.
My Lord.
Ronald was pulled over, and we still do not know today why he was pulled over. He said immediately, "I'm sorry, I was scared." His hand still on the steering wheel. They pulled him out. They tased him immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Over 5 times. They say my brother died from a car accident. He went through a windshield and died on impact. Even the doctor said something doesn't add up. Why does he have prongs in him? Why does he have taser prongs in him?
Lies.
Yeah.
Driving while black. If you don't know, they call it nigger night. They hunt us like animals.
My Lord.
You have no idea what me and my family's been going through this entire time. They have the goon squad in Mississippi.
Speak on it.
They had to beg and plead for someone to hear their story. You have a kid in Mississippi. They dismembered him, cut off his head, put his private parts in his mouth. This is the world we're living in today.
Speak the truth. Speak the truth.
And they're around here having seminars. Can our children make it home? We weren't that lucky that day. They pulled him out the car. They tased him immediately. Beat him to death. Broke his sternum. Broke his ribs. Stood on him like he was a foot mat. This is the world we're living in. Can we make it home? I don't think so. I just want you to pray for our family. Continue to stand with us. And maybe one day we can have the same justice system as they have.
Ronald Green! Ronald Green! Ronald Green! Ronald Green!
And what Alana was saying was look at the video.
Yeah.
Don't say no more. Just look at the video. Don't say no more. Just look at the video.
What to do?
Don't say no more.
Just look at the video.
Don't say no more.
Just look at the video.
Don't say no more.
Just look at the video.
Look at the video!
Look at the video.
Thank you so much, Joseph. And the reason we keep saying that is because enough of America have not seen the Ronald Green video. They've seen the George Floyd video. They've seen the Ahmaud Arbery video. They've seen the Tyree Nichols video. But they have to see the Ronald Green video. Wasn't that the key for Oscar Grant, Uncle Bobby? People had to see the video for themselves. And so we're here in Union County trying to ring the alarm for the world to see the Ronald Green video.
Yes.
Amen. The family member you will hear from before you hear from some of his extended family members, and then we'll try to take a few of your questions. If you have some, it's going to be his other sister, Deneen Harden.
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Say his name!
Ronald Green!
Say his name!
Ronald Green!
Good afternoon. My name is Deneen Harden. I am sister to Ronald Green. Like Mr. Crump said, I challenge you guys to look at the video yourself. Just Google his name, Ronald Green. You will see for yourself what these murderers did to my brother on the night of May 10th of 2019. It took me over 4 years to watch the full entire video. It was just on the 15th of this month I was able to sit and watch these cowards take my brother's last breath on the 15th of this month, 2023. I didn't cry. I stood there in strength, eager to watch more footage. So it gave me strength to watch these guys take my brother's last life. I mean, his last minutes of life.
Justice.
So again, I challenge you guys, Watch the video for yourself. There's also footage of Christopher Hollingsworth, a Master State Trooper.
Let's not leave him out.
Master State Trooper Chris Hollingsworth, who said, I beat the ever-living fuck out of him.
Speak it.
Okay? Let's not forget about this guy. This coward that took Ron's last breath. They all participated in the cover-up. They all should be criminalized and punished and sent to prison. From the top on down. Okay, we have a confession on video. We have statements made that were recorded by the investigators. Okay, we're not making this up. Google it for yourself and you will see what exactly happened to Ronald Green.
Justice for 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 Ronald Green.
Thank you to the family. Just a few more people before we take your questions. A young man who's been fighting this fight for as long as I can remember, even before Trayvon Martin, there was Oscar Grant. And the individuals who were, I believe, most consequential to getting justice for Oscar Grant was his Uncle Bobby and his Aunt Beatrice, who came all the way from Oakland, California to be here with Ronald Green's family today. Justice,
Bobby, justice.
Uncle Bobby.
All right, Uncle Bobby.
Yes. First, justice for Ronald Green.
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 If there's a time for the state of Louisiana, more specifically Union Parish, to get it right, it is now.
Amen, Uncle Bobby.
Listen, 14 years ago, my nephew Oscar was murdered on video. No different than what we see with Ronald Green. What was significantly different for the world was that everyone got to see this and felt that there was a wrong committed on Oscar Grant, and thereby, for the first time in California state history, those officers, specifically one, was held accountable for the murder of Oscar Grant, and he did go to jail.
Yes.
Now, for the state of Louisiana, we have video that is blatant evidence that this culture of policing here in Union Parish and throughout the state of Louisiana has been perpetrated on people of color, and yet officers are not held accountable.
My Lord.
To our knowledge, to my knowledge, this is the first case in the state of Louisiana where officers were indicted and has the chance of being held accountable. But what we're seeing is a system by design unraveling the essence of what we call procedural mistakes or errors to justify a murder here in this state, specifically Union Parish.
Speak, Uncle Bobby.
Listen, what happened to Tyree Nichols is no different than what happened to Ronald Green.
Tell him, Uncle Bobby.
So we implore all you, especially media, to share with the world what happened to Ronald Green so we become much more aware that what we're dealing with is a system of racism. The difference is all the officers that killed Ronald Green were white.
Come on, Chief.
All the officers that killed Tyree Nichols was black. All the officers that killed Tyree Nichols right now within a short period of time has been arrested, charged for the murder of Tyree Nichols. We're going on 4 years dealing with this situation with a video concerning these white officers who murdered Ronald Green.
Same thing.
The video speaks for itself. The same argument was made with Oscar Grant that what you saw in the video didn't happen. If you see the video, you will join us in making this outcry that the DOJ needs to come here and file charges against these officers for murder Ronald Green. What's that saying? Show the video. Say no more.
No more. Show the video.
Don't say no more.
Don't say no more. Show the video.
Say no more.
Show the video.
Show it.
Now,
Thank you, Uncle Bobby.
Uncle Bobby shows that when they look at the video, it's a precedent to help us get justice. Everybody gotta watch this video of Ronald Green. Next, we're gonna have Felicia Cooper, who's one of the local freedom fighters here in Union County, who's still with the family from the beginning.
Yes, absolutely.
Sister Cooper, give it to
Black Power, Black Love.
Black power, black love. Some red.
John Bell Edwards. John Bell said that this was the most racist thing. He called it racist. He called it out. So why is that not a hate crime? Our DA Belton, said that it was the worst thing that he ever saw. If this is the worst thing that you ever saw, come on, give me some charges. Charge them for what they did to this man, which is all over the United States. You see it on Google. You see it everywhere you turn, and I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing it without any repercussions. This is Louisiana for you. And this fight is for everybody. Because it's happening everywhere in the state of Louisiana. We got to make some changes. And it starts today. Right here on the steps of these courthouses. I am so upset that I go to court every month. We go to court every month, and it's a facade. It's a game. They playing games up there. So what are we gonna do?
We fight, we win. We fight, we win.
When we fight, we win. We fight, and we will win. Cause guess what? We always winning.
That's right.
Justice for Ronald Green.
Justice for Ronald Green.
Justice for Ronald Green.
Watch the tape.
Say no more.
Watch the tape.
Say no more.
The last person you will hear from is a mother like Mona, who knows the agony of having a child killed while in police custody. Sabrina Foster's son, Glenn Foster, was a prince of a young man, businessman, played professional football, but yet, like Ronald, she believes that the color of his skin had an impact on how he was killed in police custody. And it's so agonizing, Joseph, how many hashtags we have from unarmed black men dying in police custody. And so we only thought it fitting. The last person you hear before we take a few of your questions is another mother who has been in lockstep with Mona, demanding justice for our children. Miss Sabrina Foster.
Thank you.
No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
Hi, my name is Sabrina Foster. I would like to tell the story about my son, Glenn Foster Jr. I have my husband here as well. We would like to share our similar story to Mona and her family. Our son, too, was in custody of police when he was murdered. They say that my son was not murdered. They say he died of cardiovascular disease while in custody. But they always say that, and unfortunately, they get away with it. That did not happen here in Louisiana. However, it did happen in Pickens County, Alabama. Alabama has a history of saying a person has died in their custody due to cardiovascular disease. The autopsy report shows otherwise. It says my son appears that he was strangled. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
He was strangled. So they're covering up the truth. Unlike Mona, she can see what has happened to her son in video. We don't have access to that video. Obviously, they're covering up. My son's murder happened December 6th, as they say. I believe it happened sooner. They say it happened December 6th, 2021. I believe it happened the day before. But the video will show. But unfortunately, they don't want to show us the video. My son has left behind, of course, his parents, his sister, his beautiful wife and 4 daughters. babies. He had a business. Again, he was a former football player for the New Orleans Saints. My son was only 31 when they murdered him. He was a very, very smart, intelligent man. But again, his intelligence had nothing to do with it. It was the color of his skin. And thank you very much. My husband would like to say something as well.
All I want to say is it shouldn't be a crime to be a black man in this country.
Amen.
My ancestors did not ask to come here. Okay? But we're here. All right? I and all black people need equal and just protection under the law. Okay? There shouldn't be two laws because a man is white as opposed to a man being black. God, I believe they say made one man originally, right?
Original man.
The original man. So should be no distinction. We deserve justice, fairness, to be treated equally. Okay? The justice system shouldn't be for just them, it should be for all of us. Okay? That's what we want. We want justice and accountability. For Ronald Glean, for Glenn Foster. Okay?
All in there.
All our children. Justice for Ronald Green.
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 We'll try to take a few of your questions if you have any. And if you don't, we will keep you updated.
I know a lot has been said already about, a statement from the defense attorney on the Mystery Works report. What's your take on that?
We don't need to say no more. Just watch the video.
That's right. Don't say no more.
Watch the video. Watch the video. Yes, sir.
What hopes y'all have by pursuing any kind of federal charges with this? What hope do you see in going that direction? What do you think will change?
Well, we know that the federal charges have more latitude to look at more things than Louisiana law looks at. And so DA John Belton has to go with the state charges, but the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division can look at a multitude of issues, misconduct, untruths, excessive force. They can look at a multitude of things that need to be looked at when you watch the Ronald Green video. And that's why Miss Mona, that's why the supporters of Ronald Green are saying it is past time for the Federal Department of Justice to launch a federal civil rights criminal investigation, just like they did with George Floyd, just like they did with Ahmaud Arbery, and like they finally did with our sister Breonna Taylor. It is now past time for civil rights charges to be investigated into the death of Ronald Green.
The world's watching. The world's watching.
The world is watching. The whole world is watching.
Farmerville, Louisiana.
All right. Yes, sir.
Prior to DA Belton getting this case, the feds did have it for a considerable period. What do you believe is the biggest factor that caused them not to be able to come away with indictments when they previously had it before it was basically turned over to DA Belton?
I don't want to speculate. Timing has a lot to do with things. They were a new administration, but it is the hope, now that they have all of the information, that they can have their own witnesses, that they have an opportunity to vet every aspect of this case. Listen to those witnesses, Danelle, the fellow troopers who were the whistleblowers. And I think a lot of said what they believe happened in the highway patrol, patrolling the streets. They had a certain night that they signified with racial epithets.
Yes.
Well, the Department of Justice can look at all of that, and that's very important. And now we need them to make sure Ronald Green's death isn't swept under the rug.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will keep you informed.
We want